Hey there everyone, happy weekend. Welcome back to the channel. You can see we got the whiteboard up, and there's actually two topics that I kind of wanted to talk about this time regarding the world of Fire Emblem Heroes, and it's kind of going to jigsaw itself into a prediction of sorts. So if you're down to talk about who I think is going to be on the new Heroes banner on the 8th, as well as why we haven't seen any Three Houses banners in a little while, this is the video for you. So let's hop into it. First off, traditionally, I'll say traditionally, we've always seen the January banner since creation, honestly, because the game started in February 2017. Every January banner has been a Radiant Dawn banner. Now, that's notable for a couple reasons, but the main takeaway here is January's always been a Radiant Dawn banner. In fact, we even had our first non-Heroes legendary, Ike. He was in January of 2018 as well. So January's always been a very strong Radiant Dawn month. That's likely what we're going to be looking at for the next particular banner. Now, there's a couple of good situations that we have left. I know we have a lot of the beast units in the game. Like 2019 was definitely like the year of beast units for sure. But there's still a handful that we're missing, and one of them in particular is Best Boy Volg over here. But there's a couple other groups that we have the possibility of seeing from Radiant Dawn. Now, that's not to say it's going to be Radiant Dawn. All right, it's, you know, for 2 consecutive years we also had a Brave Ridu banner, and that just didn't happen last year. That just didn't happen, and I don't think it's going to happen. I've talked about it a lot in the past in a handful of videos that I've done, but they really worked in a lot of the top 100 into regular, like, new Heroes banners throughout the year, instead of just picking like the next top 4. So for what that's worth, you know, I feel like we still had a decent chunk in there. But these banners particularly come in chunks. Okay, so the first one we had, the World of Dawn. That one had Zelgius and Soth and Micaiah. They were kind of this story-driven trio, sort of. They worked together in the game. I don't want to talk too much about it. If you haven't played Radiant Dawn, you should. You should play the Telus games. They're good. But they kind of are grouped together. It's not just a random collection of characters from the game that were put together. You know what I mean? So they were kind of grouped together. It's not like... It would be like having units... It would be like having characters from the same houses in 3 houses show up on a banner. Rather than the ones that we kind of got, which just had an amalgamation of characters from individual houses, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. It would be like having Dorothea, Linhardt, and Bernadetta on a banner, and versus having Sylvain, Ferdinand, and I don't know, name any other 3 houses character. Brian Sedith. Having those 3 randos on a banner, like, sure, they're from 3 houses, but they're not really like a collective group. This is a really long-winded explanation. Their characters function well together. Same thing kind of happened with the, I think this, what was this, Rulers of the Lagoos? I think that's what this was called. With Tibarn and Leanne and Ryson and Nyla. They were all kind of... They were involved in the Heron clan. So not only did we get Herons, we also got Tibarn and Nyla and Nisala as well. He was a free-to-play unit from that. they all kind of functioned in a similar story arc as well. So I think for the most part what we're going to be seeing are trios or quartets of characters that kind of function very similar to that. And if you haven't played the games, I will dish out a handful of who I think could function well together. Most notably, and with good reason, these three. So we have Toronio, Zehark, and Jill. Jill was a very popular unit. She was, dare I say, set to be the next Brave Redux unit, but that never came to fruition, unfortunately. So that trio could work pretty well together. I assume that you could do like a lance, sword, axe thing with them. Toronio could technically use multiple weapons, but I think he was a silver lance unit that you got, if I'm not mistaken. Another solid trio that you could have, these three, hello, Morim, Tormod, and Vika. I would be very happy to have Vika in the game, if I'm being totally honest. She's the one beast unit that isn't in the game that I'm kind of like, next to Volog, of course, because he is best wolf boy. But that's another trio that, you know, kind of clings together. They would function pretty well arc-wise. And of course, this is likely going to be a forging bonds type situation. Typically, those happen with new hero banners. I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of a particular instance where we haven't had a forging bonds with a new heroes banner. So more than likely, we'll probably see a quartet because of that. And I know if you haven't put the pieces together yet, I am of course talking about the Dawn Brigade plus Laura. Kind of. Laura seems to fit pretty okay there. Aaron also would technically fit. He and Laura have kind of a connection. Again, I don't really want to like throw stuff out there for you to be spoiled, but that I feel like would be a pretty decent collection. Is it possible? Probably. The Dawn Brigade has been missing from FEH for a while now. We got the beast units. We have a collection of various Ikes and Mists. Even Titania has an alt. We do not have the Dawn Brigade, the Scrub Brigade. They're not in there. Of the three groups that I have listed here of who I think it's likely that we'll be seeing, I think the Dawn Brigade is high on that particular list. But personally, I'm kind of hoping for one of the other groups. And maybe a free Volog too. That would be pretty sweet as well. But again, those forging bonds typically have 4 units. And, you know, it's these guys work in 3s, unfortunately. So, for what that's worth, I think probably a collection of, or even these groups of Radiant Dawn characters are who we're going to be seeing in the next banner, if tradition holds. Now, tradition doesn't always hold. It could be a random genealogy, like maybe they're going to put a new hero genealogy in there, and I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about that. Maybe they will do a 3 houses banner. I don't know. It could be, I don't know, another Thracia banner. Who knows? Who knows? We have literally nothing to go off other than past facts. And past facts dictate that January is Radiant Dawn month. Now, 2019 was very Radiant Dawn, or just Tellius in general, heavy. So I don't know that they will necessarily continue that. Again, I think last year we were really focused on beast units. 2019 was definitely the year of beast units. That was the big mechanic that they introduced. You know, game modes and stuff like that aside, I think beast units were the big unit thing that they introduced. Now they're kind of more focusing on duo units. We're getting a new one every other month or so, roughly. They have picked up a bit, however. Don't know how I feel about that. So for what that's worth, that's kind of who I think it is. Now, why haven't we seen any 3 houses banners? Great question. Really. There are 2 banners that I think we have a strong seasonal chance for Three Houses, one of which being the Hot Springs banner. I think that is very closely related to the sauna-esque vibe that we got from DLC in Three Houses. The other being the Picnic banner. Of course, that's going to come back around in the spring. But if you check the foods and such, I don't know. I get a very tea time kind of esque feel to that particular banner. So I think we'll probably see a seasonal version for Three Houses from these two particular banners. If not one, then the other. Maybe both. Who knows? But personally, I think they're kind of like taking a back seat on all of that, because the last game to come out, which was Shadows of Valentia, that happened back in like spring of 2017, I want to say. It was a while ago. Doesn't feel that long ago, but it was. FEH had just been out for a couple months, honestly, and we saw a string of banners, mainly these. And then we also saw all of these as well. So we had 2 Tempest Trials that were focused around Shadows of Valentia, a Bound Hero Battle, and 4 new Heroes banners, all for Shadows of Valentia. All within, like, what was it? Like a 18 to 20 week period. Like, that is a lot. That causes, like, association fatigue like nobody's business. So I think ultimately what they're trying to do is avoid that kind of like exhaustion that you get from having too many. And honestly, like, I feel like they've spaced them out pretty well. Could they have given like 1 extra winter unit? Maybe. I think Sothis is probably the fan favorite when it comes to dragon units. And again, I don't want to like give anything away on that. But I think Sothis is kind of, I mean, she is the first mythical seasonal that we have, for what it's worth. I'm not really sure how that translates to game mechanics and planning, but, you know, whatever. She was, you know, the first mythical that we saw from Three Houses. She brought Male Byleth along. But other than that, we've really only had like a handful of Three Houses characters, and I feel like they're just trying to avoid this fatigue that they had with Shadows of Valentia. Similar exhaustion happened when they were really just hammering the Awakening and Fates units, which those were the games that came out prior to Valentia being live. And, I mean, with good reason. Like, Awakening and Fates sold really, really well. The franchise was going to basically be ended with Awakening if it didn't sell enough. So, I mean, the fact that they would open the first year with Fae being very heavily focused on those 2 particular games makes a lot of sense. The fact that they would heavily promote Valentia when it just came out and Fae was just a couple months old makes a lot of sense, because that's what other people are looking at. Maybe not maybe the traditionalists are not looking at Fae. Maybe they want to introduce more characters from the newer games to like draw attention, because that's what the search results are pinging. Whatever. I think they learned their lesson. I think they're trying to avoid it. The only issue now is they may be dealing with a little bit of counterintuitiveness, to the point where they hold out on Three Houses units too long, and then people start rioting because, like, where is my Dorothea? You know, like, where is my Bernadette? Where are they? Where is Ferdinand von Eyre? We don't know, because he's not there. He's not in the game. People are going to get upset, and I hope they just don't have like an inverse situation happen, which they might. It's possible. So, with all that said, the long and the short, I think more than likely we're going to see a Three Houses banner come April. The Wave 4 DLC is set to release in April, or by April, I think. So late winter, early spring, we're probably going to be seeing at least 1 or 2 Three Houses banners, probably a new Heroes, probably a seasonal. But for right now, I don't know, history is pointing towards a Radiant Dawn banner. But IS also believes that history is meant to be disrupted. So, if the Brave Redux banners are anything to point to for that, they might shake stuff up and just take it in a completely different direction. But that's kind of who I'm thinking that we're going to be looking at for this next particular banner. Buckle up, though, because February is going to be nuts. That's when the anniversary happens. That's when we get a whole bunch of other banners that drop. So it's going to be Orb City come February. So hang tight. I'm sure we'll have a trailer soon to see who we're actually going to be getting. And that's it for me for right now. Vika, come home, please. Raven Queen, please. I love you. That's it. Let me know who you guys think we are going to be seeing on this next New Heroes banners. It's anybody's guess, to be honest. Like, we have patterns that we can look at here and historical context in the game. It doesn't mean anything. Let's be real. It means nothing. I would be better off going on the silhouette of a question mark with hair color than I would just looking at past calendars and taking an educated guess. So let me know who you think is going to be on the next New Heroes banner. Subscribe if you have not. We have a lot of FEH content coming up. Anniversary is coming, like I said. And just, some generally cool things happening in the future as well. So that's it for me right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a banger of the rest of the weekend. And I will catch you next time.